everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, art Carli Lloyd, just congratulating you. This book, it's so honest. I loved it because I have like a mentality of an athlete, like I'm go, go, go. You have that mentality just times a million.
Yeah.
Talk me through what it takes to make a champion.
Well, I think it's a lot of things. I think you have to have good character. I think that's kind of one of the biggest piece. You have to do all the right things on and off the field, and you have to be willing to work incredibly hard. Have to be willing to stumble and fail and fall down and get back up again. But it's been an incredible journey, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
There's some key moments in this book, and one of them is it seems like whenever you're an underdog, you function better. Talk to me about that mentality. Why did you have to always have people against you? I love it. It's great.
Well, I don't think that's so true right now. I think things have kind of shifted. I think the underdog mentality just progressed throughout the beginning of my career, just not getting the credit I deserved. For putting in some great games with the team, scoring some big time goals. So I think it was merely just a factor of not getting the recognition. And now it's a different story. I've kind of proven myself over again. I don't need to play with a chip on my shoulder in order to be at my best. I think doing myself a reward by just going out there, enjoying the moment, and rewarding myself for all the hard work that I've put in.
This book is so open. When you start writing it, do you say to yourself, I want to put it all out there?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, I didn't have any plans to include the struggles I've had with my family. I think that has been, the hardest part, just knowing that they haven't been there, they've missed out on a lot. So that's been hard, but it's part of my journey, and I'd be lying to readers if I didn't include that and didn't have that in there. Because it's saddened me over the years. It's been incredibly hard, and I am a private person, so to have everything kind of open, I think it explains my character a little bit more. And I know there's been multiple times where I've been maybe misunderstood and people don't really quite get me, but I think after they read this book, they'll know it's honest and genuine, and know it's coming from the heart.
You've also had some incredible moments. It feels like yesterday, the hat trick in the World Cup. It's crazy to think everything you've been able to experience. What have been the one or two defining moments for you internally?
Man, there's been so many things. Obviously, the World Cup was almost a moment of, the 13 years of what I've been striving for, to become the best player in the world, to win a World Cup. That kind of encapsulated everything, but everything in between, from my first cap and my first call up to the moment I'm at right now. I can't pick one. Everything has really helped shape who I am on and off the field. It's been an incredible journey, one that I'm very proud of. And you look at all the times where it's been hard. I think those are the moments that have really been able to kind of transpire my career into what it is.
One of the incredible things is you talk about doing the work when nobody's looking. And I remember talking to Tom Brady before, and he's like, at 4 a.m. I'll text my teammates, let's get to Foxborough and get to work. Talk to me about, were there times where you just did not want to do that work, where it was like, I can't do this anymore, where you thought about giving up?
No, I've never thought about giving up. I think the biggest thing is, I kind of had to keep telling myself, what do I need to do to prove to people that I am capable of being great and doing well. It was 2008 Olympics, 2012 Olympics, 2015 World Cup. It was almost like I had to score a hat trick for everybody to kind of jump on board and realize what I'm capable of. And yeah, it's the mentality that has just engraved in me to never shut off. Holidays I train 6 days a week. It's really impossible for me to shut off. And I think when you look at every champion professional athlete, they're the same way. There's no other way to be able to get to the top and stay at the top.
Who's been the coolest person to reach out throughout your career to congratulate you on all of your success?
Well, the president, for
It's
starters.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
was
pretty
the
cool.
personal shout out was pretty cool. I've met so many incredible people along the way. I've been able to meet Messi, who's one of my idols, on top of the soccer world, standing on stage next to him. Nick Lachey, one of my, big crushes growing up. I mean, it's been a wide variety of so many different people. And it's been fun, it's awesome. I'm in a league of my own right now with everything going on.
When you look back on this decade plus, anything you would change?
Honestly, I could say I wouldn't change one thing. I'm proud of who I've become. I'm proud of what I stand for. I'm proud of how I've handled every situation. If there was maybe one thing, I would probably have believed in myself a little bit more. There was a lot of people who were doubting me. My trainer, James Galanis, said I can go on to become the best player in the world, and it even took me 13 years to realize that. So he's believed that from the moment we started working together, and so I would have believed a little bit sooner.
What advice would you give to, there's a young woman, a young man out there right now who wants to be an elite athlete, wants to be a champion. What advice would you give to that person?
Well, I think whatever you aspire to do, you have to always know that whatever's thrown up against you, whether the naysayers, whether people, tell you you can't do it, you shouldn't do it, you shouldn't go after your dreams, you can get through many different things when people are telling you you can't. And you have to just clock in the hours. You have to be willing to train when nobody's watching. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, be humble, turn your weaknesses into strengths, all of those things. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a special someone to get to this level and to do great things.
Do you start looking as you become older over your career, what has now become an iconic career? Is it tough to begin to look over and say, here's my legacy, but I'm getting towards the end of it at this point?
Well, I think it's all about just enjoying the ride. It's such a stressful environment. Every single day it's stressful. You're competing for spots. You're worrying about this, worrying about that, upset that you maybe didn't have the best game. I want to just enjoy it. It's gone by so fast already. I can't believe, I'm sort of in the latter stages of my career. But the way a professional athlete thinks, you get ready for one thing and then boom, you're on to the next thing. And then you just keep going and it's like next. And before you know it, you're almost at the end. And so I want to just enjoy it. I want to embrace it, enjoy it, do everything I possibly can to help my team and, have no regrets.